Okay, good morning. Welcome to
MathPractice 124.
Math Practice number 124. You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, good. I'm sorry, I'm dragging a little this morning. I'm not feeling too well. But anyway, we can still learn about perfect squares, even if I'm not feeling too well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, do you know what a perfect square is?
Yeah, it's a number multiplied by itself.
It's a number multiplied by itself. Okay, so we have, for example, 1 times 1 is?
1.
Good job. 2 times 2 is?
4.
4. Can you write a little bit bigger? 3 times 3 is? Try to write the same size I'm writing. 9. Good job. 4 times 4 is? 12. Are you sure?
16.
4 times 4 is 16, because 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, there we go. 25? 5 times 5?
You gave it away.
I gave it away, shoot. Okay, so these are the perfect squares, and we can keep going, but that's okay. Well, maybe we can go up to 10 times 10. Do you know what 10 times 10 is? 100. Okay, and ooh, you want a challenge one?
Yeah.
How about 20 times 20?
Well, 2 times 2 is 4, so that's 400.
Ooh, 400. And do an ultra challenge?
Okay.
100 times 100.
Well, 10,000?
That's right. Whoa! Whoa, careful. How did you figure that out?
Because 1 times 1 is 1, and then you add 4 zeros.
And you add 4 zeros and you get 10,000. Okay, great. Good job. Now, so that's an example of perfect squares. All you do is multiply a number by itself.
Yep.
Yep. But why are they called perfect squares? A square is a shape.
It's square, you do 5 times 5, like a 5 by 5 square.
Oh, that's interesting. So let's look, maybe we can draw some neat pictures here. If I have a square made up of little squares, maybe I can draw a 4 by 4 one. That'll be easy. And we pretend all of these squares are the same, like if we had like Duplo blocks or something,
Yep.
right? I have 4 squares this way, and I have 4 squares this way.
This is 16.
So I have a 4 by 4 square, and I have, let's just count them. Ready? 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16 squares. Hey, so it turns out that if you have a square with the same number of little squares on one side and little squares on the other side, you get the total number of squares is a perfect
Square!
So if I have a square made up of squares and it's the same on each side, I get a perfect
Square.
lot of squares. Hey, that's pretty interesting. There's another shape that kind of looks like a square but three-dimensional. What's that called?
Cube.
A cube. So while we're talking about squares, we can just as easily talk about cubes, and that just means you multiply 3 times. 1 times 1 times 1 is?
Is 1.
1. 2 times 2 times 2 is?
8.
8. 3 times 3 times 3 is?
27.
27, very good. And then here's the challenge one. 4 times 4 times 4.
16 times 4.
That's right, 16 times 4.
Well, I know 6 times 4 is 24.
6 times 4 is 24, that's right. So if we have 16 times 4, we do 6 times 4 is 24, and?
Well, you don't have a 0 at the end.
No, you don't have a 0 at the end. What else do you have to multiply the 4 by? You have to do the 4 by 6, and what does this number represent here?
10.
10. So 4 times 10 is?
Is 40.
40.
24 plus 40 is 64.
Good job. 4 times 4 times 4, which is also known as 4 cubed, is 64. Now 1 times 1 times 1 isn't all that interesting. If we just had one block that was one wide, 1 long, and 1 high, that's just
1.
1. But if I had 2 of these blocks each way, it says it looks like I'd have 8 blocks. And I brought this 2 by 2 by 2 cube. And can you see the 8 blocks?
Yep. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right, and we could make this out of Duplo blocks or out of just regular old blocks, but we happen to have this one. And it has 8 blocks. Now, what about this one? 3 by 3 by 3.
Well,
So it said there should be 27. And we can see that there's 3 squares that have 9 each.
so 3
Right.
times 9 is 27.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have a top layer, a middle layer, and a bottom layer, and they each have 9.
Yep.
But there's one cube you can't see on this, right? Where is it?
It's in the middle.
In the middle cube. On this one, on the 2 by 2 by 2, you can see all the cubes. On this one, you can't quite see all the cubes. And then we actually have a 4 by 4 by 4.
It says you should get 64 blocks.
Yeah, so we have 16 on the top layer, 4 by 4, and we have 4 layers. So we should have 64 blocks here, if we counted all of them.
Yeah.
Except it's really not, there's not necessarily these cubes on the inside. We don't know for sure what's on the inside of this, right? Because we can't see some of the blocks.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's 64 at least.
Mm-hmm.
And if we built it out of Duplo blocks, we could definitely make sure that it had 64, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Good job. Good job.